smaller section of it,
To
than to
get it
do,
done correctly.
than to do a half repair all the way down
Right.
and have us be back here 2 years ago, like, well, it's back up on the list.
You're talking Crafton Boulevard from West Steuben to Duncan.
Up to,
Yes.
right before the park, is there a cement
He wants
apron
to do
there?
full reconstruction.
Park.
Right before the park here on Crafton Boulevard? Is there a cement apron there on that intersection? I can't remember if there was or there wasn't. By Woolworth's there, by Donnie Woolworth's house?
There's no cement there.
No.
There's no cement apron there?
No, there's no
I could swear there's a cement apron down there somewhere.
Okay, so if you get that estimate, right, so we can see what it is, and then let's also, let's have it prepared to, like, what is the consent order of the work that needs to be done at the bottom of Noble, right? Because that, I think, is key of our decision, right? We can actually get a couple of things done there
That
by
would come
doing
out of
that.
our sewer budget.
Hmm?
That would come out of our sewer budget.
Right, but it would still give us the opportunity to fix it and then pave over it correctly, right? And solve those massive manholes, right, that are at the bottom of Noble. But I think it's gonna come down to one of those two. And we can vote, if we have the information, we can actually have a discussion and vote next week, next 2 weeks, and make a decision.
In the meantime, if you get a chance, drive up and down there and see what you think.
I would, but I value my
Your vehicle.
axles.
All right.
What about the speed bumps
All right, guys.
on that?
My,
Would they be,
Speed bumps where, by the park?
Yeah.
That'd be asphalt.
so we would be putting those back in?
They would go in whenever they do the resurfacing, they just add a little bit more asphalt there and do their hops.
so
I don't
yes.
think
we
they
would have-
necessarily go back in.
By a park?
I think, are they required by a park?
No.
it's-
No, I
Definitely
think you
not
have to
required.
vote on that.
There's no
Oh, okay.
requirement, that's what was.
You-
So that would be a part of the
Talk to
job,
our-
we would have
talk
to
to our
add that
constituents.
detail.
You were a police officer when they put those speed humps in, weren't you? Yes. And why did they do that? Because there was a lot of speeders going up that street.
I don't
See, there was
really
a
think
park-
it's having,
there
I'm
was a
saying it's
park
not
right
taking,
there.
just put them in again.
That's why they were there.
There's a company that sells them.
Yeah, there's-
Right.
Rubber ones like green.
Like they have up in Green Tree.
Yeah, the Green Tree ones are nice,
So they don't even
right?
have to be
So
part
they
of
don't
the
have to be
contract.
the exact same thing, but if we do that street, we'll discuss that
Yeah.
and, you know, see where we land on how many and where they go.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't like about the ones they have up, they're nice looking, they go in well, but you drive those stakes in your asphalt, now you're opening up where ice and stuff can go in and put your asphalt.
I've talked to those guys, they think that's pretty permanent and held up very well.
It looks good.
All
That's
right,
definitely an option we can look at.
let's move on, right? I think we covered that. Correspondence, do we have any correspondence to discuss? Bob?
Nothing we can discuss, so.
No. Any additional citizen comments?
Charlie?
No.
If
All right.
you want one, I'll give you one. You
Say
guys ought to pick one thing for the next meeting and get it done, and then the next meeting, pick one thing and get it done. And quit, like everybody says, you gotta do one thing.
Get it done.
I have one.
We're not out there for the public to come in 100 times on a computer and vote for a road. That's why you were elected, to make those decisions. The money's in there.
I like
We've
the
been paying the
input.
money for 3 or 4 years, and we haven't got much results. So you gotta do something.
Right.
You either do what Tracy says, or April says, you gotta do something. They all need attention.
Mhm.
And waiting 2 more weeks, you can take 5 more minutes, make a motion, and do one of them.
No, we need more information, right?
Like what?
What was done to that road from Crafton
The
Boulevard
road's
down?
on a hill like this,
Regardless of
Joe.
what- regardless
Nothing
of what's
stays
been
on that
done.
road. The water doesn't accumulate, it doesn't
It just
freeze, it
flows
doesn't
down.
thaw. That's why the road is like that.
Yeah, but
It's
we've
got
also been
drainage.
told that asphalt has a tendency to slide on a hill of that grade.
When you
right?
have heavy truck traffic.
Right, that's why I said there's no heavy vehicles going up and down. that
When you're
road.
doing 4-wheel
No
vehicles,
trucks.
it's not gonna slide. But Church Hill, like, that
Trucks,
would slide, because you have delivery trucks coming in and out.
trucks coming down, hitting their brakes, they jack their brakes. That's what ripples your asphalt.
Okay. Well, I want to hear what our engineer has to say about that. I respect your opinion, I just want to hear what the engineer has. I don't think, we are materially different if we wait 2 weeks on that for the information, especially considering the consent order, because if we get that work done at the bottom of Noble, which is our other option, right, that saves us also down the future of, solving the problems that we have to do for the consent order, the EPA consent order for the sewers. So,
I don't disagree, that's April, and you April, and you agree on that, maybe you can get that done.
Yeah.
You're getting something done.
Let's hear what that estimate is, let's hear about the consent order, figure out how much we can do of one or both, and then we'll decide, right? I think that's actually taking action. I think that's pretty good from councils past, and it's basically deciding the road in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
So
we're
numbers
good,
eight-
yeah, we need to decide
800,000.
next meeting.
Bob?
800,000. The consent order down by Bradford going up, but it's not just the catch basins and manhole, it's all the connections and the bus.
The size of the line, the whole bit.
But we'll get you the exact number. It's a-
Okay, this last, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Don't forget, I just have a comment about the website and social media or whatever. I have a complaint about the website, and if you're going to go with anything, before you go with anything, you need to take care of what you have. For example, last week I was on the website, and there's still a message about applying for jobs for summer 2013. I don't know if it was there last week.
which is
Must be, because we just put the new posting up for 2014.
So it has to be a
It's
typo.
Okay, but things have not been up to date on there, and I think most things you're gonna have trouble with keeping up to date, and that maybe something like what the schools have, where they send out the alerts, email or telephone or whatever, would work better. You wouldn't have to worry about keeping it up to date. When you had something, you sent it out.
So we want to do. Mass communication.
Anything else?
No.
Okay, thanks. I want to thank everyone for their time. I know this was a long meeting. If we do limit the discussion items next time to 15 minutes, this is still going to be a 2.5-hour meeting. So we may end up having to limit them even further. But having been in council for 2 years, I thought we got a lot more done today than we had in councils past, where the committee meetings were held on separate days and we had a lack of
Nobody was
input.
there.
Nobody was there.
Right.
Right. And then we'd end up having a meeting similar to this anyhow to kind of bring up anybody up to date with what did happen, if anybody did show up.
Right.
So having us all here, I think, was beneficial. But I'm willing to hear people's thoughts and opinions on how we can get this a little bit more concise. But even at 10 minutes, this is a 2-hour meeting. And if that means that our working meeting is going to be that long, and there's nothing we can do about it, so be it. But hopefully our following meeting, our voting meeting, will be short, right, where we actually take action. Short discussion and move forward. But if anyone has any suggestions besides limiting the topics to some amount, 10, 15 minutes, whatever they be, let me know what they are. But I wanted to thank you. I thought this worked well, and we'll keep doing this.
Even if you limit it, you still have to talk about it.
Yeah, it's still 70 minutes, and then if we have presentations like we're gonna have, I think it's likely we'll have presentations almost at every meeting, but it's gonna be a 2-hour meeting.
And we're going to have the fire chief here, and we're going to have a presentation by our engineer, probably an hour there.
But at least everybody is informed
Plus you'll have
and
probably-
disclosure.
The fire chief will be the next.
Well, yeah, that makes it longer, but at least that's.
A month from
The
tonight.
next working meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting is adjourned.